Today, our journey takes us to Pench National Park, one of the important tiger sanctuaries in Madhya Pradesh located in India. We came here for a forest safari to see tigers, leopards, various animals and different birds. We have gathered a lot of information about this place and are excited to start our adventure. This video will feature many tigers, which is one of the highlights. We flew from Kochi and landed at Nagpur airport. From there, we took a taxi and reached our resort near the Pench. Upon arrival, we were greeted with a welcome drink and completed the check-in procedures before heading to our room. We had booked a safari for the afternoon. Since we arrived before lunch, we arranged to have our meal at the resort. After finishing our lunch, our vehicle arrived at 2 p.m. 3 of my friends and I got into the vehicle and headed to the safari center. The safari was scheduled to start at 2:30 p.m. Our stay was near the Turia gate, close to Pench. So we reached the safari gate on time. We showed our booking details at the gate and were ready to start our safari. First, let me provide some basic information. There are 6 entry gates to the Pench Tiger Reserve. 3 in the core zone and 3 in the buffer zone. Our safari was booked at the core zone gate, Turia. Among the 6 gates, Turia is known for its high tiger sighting frequency, which is why we chose this gate. Our trip was in the first week of June, the peak of summer, yet there was still greenery, not completely dried up. As we joined a group of vehicles, we noticed a pond on the right side. Although we couldn't see anything initially, we spotted a tiger in the water using binoculars. It was our first tiger sighting on the safari. The tiger was laying in the water with its head out, trying to cool off the heat. We saw many butterflies flying around during the safari, particularly light green ones. The male tiger, known as L mark, is the main attraction at Turia Gate. The guide informed us that the tiger had been laying in the water for about half an hour. Meanwhile, red-wattled lapwings were seen eating the butterflies as they performed mud bathing. These birds are commonly found near water bodies. The butterflies have short lifespans, providing ample food for the lapwings. Our tiger remains still like a statue, enjoying its time in the water. In a little distance, there is a serpent eagle sitting with its mouth open, which may be because of the summer season. A little further, we can also notice a jobless grey langur sitting below the tree. Our driver is moving and taking us further, expecting many more sightings. This is an artificial pond. Due to the heat, the water in the pond tends to evaporate quickly. So tiny ponds are created and filled for animals to drink from. This increases the chance of spotting animals, especially tigers, near the ponds in central India during safaris. The hot weather draws animals, particularly tigers, to these water sources. As we moved forward, we heard sounds of langurs and spotted dotted leopard in the distance. It walked among the trees and sat on a rock, appearing to be a 3 to 4-year-old female. In Turia, there is a good chance of seeing leopards similar to tigers. The leopard sat far off and was partially obscured by the trees. Leopards are strong, they are weaker compared to other big cats in India like lions and tigers. Sometimes tigers kill and eat leopards, treating them like prey such as deer or wild boars. After a while, the leopard disappeared deeper into the jungle, out of our sight. We continued our safari in the Pench, where there are many animals to see. Our evening safari lasts 3 hours, while the morning one is 5 hours due to early darkness post-monsoon. In India, tigers in every forest are named, but leopards usually aren't, except for some famous ones. Tigers are named because they are a national animal and they are regularly monitored. We saw another tiger, an unnamed 2-year-old son of the famous tiger Dev, resting under a tree. At this age, tigers leave their mothers and start establishing their own territories, although this young tiger is sometimes seen with his mother. We also spotted an emerald dove, commonly found in South India's forests and the state bird of Tamil Nadu. The park closes during the monsoon seasons from July to October, reopening in October. We visited in June, the peak of summer, with morning temperatures reaching 45 to 48 degrees Celsius, similar to the Gulf. The intense heat draws animals to water bodies. We also saw a greater flameback, a common but attractively colored woodpecker. If anyone is interested in joining a safari or forest trek with me or Bibin from the Dot Green channel, we organize trips for groups of up to 6 people once a month. You can join us on a trip to Masai Mara in the first week of September or on other local trips. An immature eagle, more beautiful than a mature one with its mixed white plumage, was another highlight. In this episode, our goal was to see tigers. We encountered another tiger, a 6 to 7-year-old female, walking nonchalantly. This female, B2, is a mother of 2 cubs. The cubs have been seen by tourists only a couple of times as she keeps them hidden in the jungle while she roams. We also heard the alarm calls of a samba deer, indicating the presence of big cats. Unlike spotted deer that alarm at anything unfamiliar, samba deers gives alarm upon confirming a big cat's presence. After filming, the tiger walked deeper into the jungle. During the safari, I was joined by my friends Manjunath from Bengaluru, Aditya and Sandeep from Hyderabad. Safaris in central India are economical with 4 people, which is why I prefer traveling in a group. We saw flies swarming around the eyes of a spotted owlet, making it difficult for the poor bird to open its eyes. As the light began to fade, we hurried to pass the checkpoint before 5:30 p.m. During the safari, there's a strict rule against exceeding the 30 km/h speed limit, a common regulation in all forests. We reached the resort and relaxed with some tea before dinner. Then slept early to prepare for the next day. Today we headed to Sillari Gate in Maharashtra, while yesterday we visited Turiya Gate in Madhya Pradesh. Pench National Park spans both states. Yesterday's safari included 5 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the evening. Today's safari comprised 4 hours in the morning and another 4 hours in the evening, totaling 8 hours of safari in a day. In the morning, we witnessed a peacock dancing to attract a female, but she seemed uninterested. Meanwhile, an Indian wild gaur roamed alone, seeming waiting for anyone interested in him to approach. One part of Sillari Gate features a dam area attracting animals, although the water level was quite low. This is the reservoir of the Totlado Dam, built across the Pench River. We spotted a couple of jackals, small creatures resembling foxes, scavenging for food by the reservoir. We also observed an oriental craton call, which resides in the central India during the summer and migrates to Indonesia and Australia in winter. These birds, along with river lapwings, are commonly found near river banks. We saw a common tern, often referred to as sea crow, though it bears no resemblance to a crow. After catching a fish, it seemed to show off its companions. These birds live in groups and are seen around lakes, canals, and seas. They lay eggs in pits they dig in the soil, displaying the incredible skill by distinguishing their own eggs from a cluster of 10. These terns dive into water to catch fish, plunging 5 to 6 inches deep despite being unable to swim. The dam area is an excellent spot for bird watching, and we saw several species resting under the gentle sunlight. Regarding the trip's cost, we flew to Nagpur and opted for a package that included airport pickup, 3 days of food and accommodation, and 6 safari drives. The package costs 1 lakh Indian rupees for 4 people, making it economically viable compared to traveling alone, where the cost would be 30,000 to 35,000 Indian rupee per person. We waited at the reservoir for some time, but only saw birds and jackals. Without spotting any big cats, we decided to take a round. Our safari started at 6 a.m. and by 8 a.m. we were feeling hungry. We moved a bit further and stopped the vehicle at a resting point to eat the breakfast. We had a parcel from the resort containing aloo paratha, fruits and sandwiches. While eating breakfast, we noticed a Malabar pied hornbill in the distance. Initially, we saw only one, but soon realized there were 4 to 5 of them. They are a bit larger than the Malabar grey hornbill, but similar in appearance to the Great Indian hornbill, although only about half its size. After finishing the breakfast, the driver received a call about a tiger sighting near a pond. We quickly headed there. When we arrived, the tiger was hiding behind the grass. There was a little chance it would move soon, as the first tiger we saw on yesterday's safari stayed in the pond for 4 hours. We saw a white-breasted water hen moving in front of the tiger. For the tiger, it was like a small snack, so it didn't pay much attention. Spotted deer gave an alarm call upon seeing the tiger. They were walking just behind where the tiger was lying. This forest was declared a national park in 1975, located at the border of Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. In 1992, it was designated as a tiger reserve. The forest covers an area of 1,920 square kilometers with a core area of 670 square kilometers. According to the 2023 tiger census, there are 125 tigers in the tiger reserve, with 48 in Maharashtra and 77 in Madhya Pradesh. Out of the total area, 1,180 square kilometers are in Madhya Pradesh and 741 square kilometers are in Maharashtra. Only 5% of the forest is open to the tourists and safari activities. This is a white-eyed buzzard. It is often mistaken for a changeable hawk eagle from a distance, but it lacks a crest and its eyes are pure white. While it is not a rare species, it is uncommon in South India. It might have come to eat the butterflies, but was likely here to drink water in the heat. Our tiger started moving from the grass towards the water. We hoped it would come out so we could see it more clearly. We waited for an hour, just watching. After a long wait, she started walking. She appeared to be a 7 to 8-year-old pregnant tiger named Bakkari. She has her own territory in the tourist area. She went deeper into the jungle, so we decided to move the vehicle. The guide suggested we return in the afternoon, as Bakkari is often near that pond. Every guide has a GPS-connected phone, so if there is any information about a sighting, vehicles move accordingly. The guide movements are fully recorded. We spotted a type of leaf bird. There are 2 types, a wild bird and the village bird. This one is a wild bird called the golden-fronted leaf bird. It is similar to a crow in its mimicry abilities and makes its nest with small threads and roots, using spider webs to get the perfect shape. The serpent eagle is a common sight in the jungle. It gets its name because it snatches snakes. They can pick up any small snake from a distance. I'm not sure which snake it had caught though. As we moved forward, we heard a continuous call of a peacock. We stopped a vehicle because their calls often indicate they have seen something. After some time, a black animal jumped from a tree. We waited but didn't see it again. Even after checking the video, we couldn't identify the animal. At first, we thought it might be a black panther, but it seemed to be something else. Grey langurs are seen in every forest. Unlike other monkeys in tourist areas, they don't like to interact with humans and are mostly found in the forest. It was nice to see them against the backdrop of greenery. The soil and the langur were the same color. Leaving the itching monkey behind, we moved forward. Our safari was nearing its end, and when we received a call about a tiger we had seen earlier near the pond, we turned the vehicle around. We moved slowly, thinking the tiger might have left, but she was still lying in the grass. This was the same Bakari tiger we had seen earlier. Because she was pregnant, she was resting most of the time. Despite being a female tiger, her face looked fierce. She was covered in mud, as tigers often are when they spend time in water and mud. Although the lion is known as the king of the jungle, tigers are more fearless. They live solitary lives until their death. Lions are considered as kings because they lead groups of female lions. A king needs subjects to rule over. In our Africa's Masai Mara video, we explain more about the lions in detail. Our safari time was ending, so we had to head back. This is the story of Pench National Park. I will add the details about the trip and the camera equipment in the description box. If you have any questions, you can message me on Instagram. So see you in the next forest story. Bye bye.